Hey guys, Paul Counts here, and I am excited to be here today talking about my 14 steps to launch an info product online. And many of you guys know that that is the main business model that I've been using over the years that I've been selling online. I really got going with info products in 2007, so that was about 10 years ago, and I've been earning money online since I was 15 years old, so that puts us back to early 2000 when I started online. And then info products, I really kicked off by selling information products around 2007. And so over the time, I've really perfected a system. I've learned a lot over the years of selling info products, and I wanted to lay out my 14 info product steps. So like the last live stream I did, I've got quite a few notes that I've put together. And so if you guys are ready to go, we are going to have a lot of fun. I've got some people joining me from all over from my email list. We've got quite a few members jumping on. And again, the best part is about the live stream is this will be available for a replay. So if you want to check that out, it will be here on my Facebook page. So let's jump in here and talk about just a couple of things. And Nancy, I am doing well. Thank you so much for joining me. Nancy is fantastic. We've got Nancy, Vicky. We've got quite a few others that are joining us. Nancy is somebody that's been a long time student of mine, so I absolutely am so delighted to have you here, Nancy. So I appreciate that. And let's talk about the first step for your info product is your target market. So first step is you always need to know your target market, who your niche is, who your audience is. And so that is step number one. Number one is find your target market. And so for that, what I like to do is really understand. So it's, one thing to know that if I'm launching a weight loss product, for example, or if I'm launching a product for internet marketers, those are broad niches. Now, you really want to know who is my audience. So, for example, if you're in the internet marketing space and your product is about getting traffic to your blog, you're going to be targeting people that use WordPress. You're going to be focused on those types of people. You're going to be looking at, more niche focused, kind of really just focus in your niche and your attention. And if I'm out there, in the weight loss space, and your program in particular is for people that want to lose weight while they're on the go, right? Like busy travelers, you want to target those people that don't want to be in the gym, then you're going to be targeting a little different segment. You're not going to be going after the whole broad weight loss market. You're not going to be going after bodybuilders. You're going after those people that want to do at-home fitness. So those would be like the stay-at-home moms and dads. Those would be the people that are traveling. So you need to know who your target market is, because it's from that knowledge that you can create the best information product out there. So I've created a couple of products recently with the Your First in the name of them. So I've got Your First Sales Funnel and then Your First Info product, which I'll tell you about at the end here. And in those products, because they're targeted as Your First, they're very much focused around people that are brand new. So once I kind of understand who my audience is, that's who when I create my products, that's what I, create them for. So just know who your audience is. Like I've got another product that's coming out in the niche of keeping kids safe, and it's all about child safety on the internet. And so for that, my main focus when doing the marketing is, who is this for? This product is for parents, and that's who's going to be my target market. Not necessarily kids, not necessarily a broad market, but in particular kids of teenagers for this product, because it targets those people that have, teenage kids that might be on the internet and social media where it's very dangerous for kids. And so I know that I'm going to be focused on those people. So that's what I zero in my attention on, is that market. So it's going to be parents of teenagers. That's my target audience. And then that really helps me build a framework of a good info product. It also helps me identify potential affiliates. So knowing your target market is very key. That's step number one that I go through. Step number one, your target market. Number two is your product outline. That is step number two that you must know. So your product outline is, so your product outline, that's where I start with every single one of my info products. So a product outline is really where you start a framework, and I can do this on a notepad. I can do this on the TXT, the notepad editor we have on our computer. But I like to list out what are the components of my info product going to be. And I start every single info product out there. In fact, one of my info products started like this. In fact, I also have my best-selling info product, which has done over 7 figures. It's called my No-Cost Income Stream Blueprints, a no-cost income stream. That's a product line I've launched with the real guys that most of you know about. And that product was started literally on a notepad like this. So I didn't even use the computer for that. And how I do this is I start out by identifying, okay, what is the main subject points that I want to hit on for this product? And so, if it's a product about, let's say, for example, about hitting a baseball, let's identify the 5 main focuses that we want to talk about, in order to hit a baseball better. What are the 5 keys? You've got the stance, you've got the drills people can do, you've got hand-eye coordination, you've got the mental aspect of baseball. So identify to myself, what are the 5 keys that I'm looking for in particular when I go about this. So that's what I do there, is identify what are the 5 main points. And then, or it could be, in the case of that large info product, it was 86 different topics that I was going to cover. I actually had an 86 module course. So this method works whether you have 5 main topics or 86 main topics that you're going to focus on. This course was 86 step-by-step lessons because it was that detailed and that good. It was really well put together. And so to do that, so start with your points. So just for simplicity's sake, let's say you have 5 main points for your info product. So I start by writing down, okay, I'm going to talk about hitting a baseball. So I write out hitting a baseball, or I'm going to talk about the mental aspect of the game. And when I get into the mental aspect of the game, I come up with 5 or 6 points below that. And I know that there's 5 or 6 points, key points that I want to cover about the mental aspects of hitting. So I'd make that list down. If you're doing a self-help product, it'd be very similar. So you might say, what are the keys to a better mindset? And so you might go out there and build a framework and say, the number 1 key is to be open-minded. Open-minded. Okay, so that's a main point that I'm going to talk about to an improved mindset. And then once I identify that people are open-minded, then once we identify open-minded as a key point, then I'm going to make 5 or 6 examples that I want to address that point out why having an open mind is so important to your success with, a better mindset. And so, again, by the time you're done there, you're going to have your 5 modules or your 5 chapters already spelled out, already ready to go. And then below that, you're going to have the 5 or so points that you are going to cover as you create your product. I always start every single info product out with an outline. And if you do not, you're going to find that you're looking at a blank screen. You're not going to know what material that you want to present to people. You're not going to know what kind of content you want to deliver to your audience. And so that's what I really focus my attention on, is starting with the product outline. I start everything with a good info product outline, and it works very, very well every single time. So the next thing, 3 here, is we've got the OTO, or the sales funnel. So I always start out, once I do my outline, I always identify what is going to be a part of my upsells and my sales funnel, as it's called. And when I have upsells, those are super important to me. So the upsells, the reason you want to have upsells is because that's where you're going to make most of your income. And on my product launches, this has been true time and time again, is I always focus on having a sales funnel. So that means as people purchase my product on the front end, that means they're going to be hit with an upsell. And no matter where you go in life, you just need to realize upsells are a part of business. And so the big mistake I used to make when I was starting out is I told myself, I'm not going to be that person that does upsells. I don't think they're appropriate. I'm not going to use those. But if you really think of it, upsells are there to give value to your customers because they're already in the mode of buying. And I've had people ask me for upsells. Do you have more to buy? Well, I always have an offer for them. Like my current launch right now, I have 4 upsells for them that are all related to what they just purchased, and they can all benefit them. The number one thing that I never do, though, is make my upsells be required to use the front-end product. So if I have a front-end product for $27, that front-end product should stand alone. It should 100% stand on its own. And so that's really where it's super important, is that front-end product should stand on its own. The upsell should complement it. And you're also going to have very happy affiliates. And a few days ago, I posted a screenshot from one of my top affiliates, and he was super excited because he's getting 5 different, because my funnel had so many different upsells in it. From one customer referral, he was getting 5 different sets of commissions because this customer loved all the products, and that made him want to continue to promote. And so I find having a good sales funnel makes my affiliates want to keep promoting, makes my customers happy because they can get more of what they want. And upsells are just a part of business. When you go to get gasoline at the gas station, you are hit with an upsell. Would you like a car wash? You're hit with advertisements for special deals on candy bars. You're hit with an advertisement for credit card offers right there at the gas pump. When you go to McDonald's, you're upsold. So upsells are just a part of life. They're a part of business. And the reason they're there is because you are going to get a benefit from them. The store gets a benefit from them. So use your upsells and do not launch a product without knowing what your upsell is going to be. So as I outline my front end product, I also, in the next step, make sure I understand what kind of a upsell am I going to offer. And you don't have to have 4 upsells like I do. You can have just one. Your upsell could be as simple as a Facebook mastermind group, a Facebook coaching group. It could be any number of things that you have in your upsell. That could become your upsell. You could have a coaching club where you just do Q&A calls twice a month for your members, but just have something there for them to continue the conversation. So I've got a fitness product coming out here soon, and in this fitness product, our upsell is a membership, and it's going to be for those people that are really serious about taking that next step of accountability and getting themselves in shape and getting themselves to that next level. That's the selling point behind it. So we're going to join them on a call, and it'll be twice a month or once a month. And they're going to pay $27 a month, plus have access to a special Facebook group where we'll be in there interacting with them and helping keep motivating them and keep driving them forward. Is that upsell required to make the front end work? Absolutely not. But is it a huge benefit to them? You better believe it is. And so you don't have to think like, oh goodness, now I've got to create this huge upsell. You absolutely don't. Your upsell could actually be, something as simple as like a Facebook group, or it could be additional products that are related. That's where private label rights content comes into play. That's why I'm a big proponent of purchasing quality PLR material and products, because I personally use PLR products in my sales funnels as part of the upsell. So I find that they work really well. So that is number 3, step number 3. So first step is get your target market, understand who you're going after. Second step is your product outline. The third step is identify what your funnel is going to be in your upsells. I always launch with the sales funnel. It's super, super important to your success. Step number 4 of the 14 steps here. Step number 4 is to create your info product. So start creating your info product. What I'm doing right now with Facebook Live is an example of creating an info product. As simple as this may seem, you come up with your 5 talking points, your 10 talking points, which you should have already done in step number 2. Then you pull out the Facebook live stream and you go live to people in your audience and you talk through those points, and that could become your info product. That can become your product. You could take your video link and go out to rev.com. That's rev.com, R-E-V.com. You go out to rev.com. They will transcribe what you said. So let's say you talk for 1 hour. That 1 hour, you actually may end up saying 7,000 or so words. I talked for 40 some minutes on my last live stream. It was 7,000 words that I spoke. That's more than enough to have an ebook that you can formulate into a ready-to-go ebook package. So creating a product is not as difficult as it seems. It's very simple to do, actually. So you can film yourself, you can write it yourself if you want. If you're a writer that enjoy writing, you can do that. I'll give you another source that you can write down. That is iWriter.com. That's iWriter.com. iWriter.com is a great place to go if you have an idea like a product outline and you want to just get it into somebody's hands so they can create a product for you. So that's iWriter.com. It's a great source that you can leverage. So I absolutely love myself, outsourcing content. If it fits. For me, the majority of my products are created by myself, but I find that video products work great. You'll see a lot of my content is created with PowerPoint slides, and so I actually use my product outline to identify what my PowerPoint deck is going to be about, and then I just have my bullet points below there, and I use Camtasia, which is a screen capture program, or you can use Jing, Jing, which is it's a low-cost version of Camtasia. And then another one you can use that's out there is called Snagit as well, Snagit. And then another tool to write down for screen capture that I really like using and that I train on as well. It's called Screencast-O-Matic, and it's got kind of a weird domain name, so you want to just write it down. You'll find it on Google, but Screencast-O-Matic, it's a free screen capture tool. That means it'll take a video of what's on your slides. And then as far as the microphone that I use, I will show you guys. It's nothing fancy. I use a Logitech H390. So it's a Logitech microphone, simple as all get out, and I use this to make all my content. So I don't need a fancy microphone. You can get one if you have it, but this is like $20 some. It's like $19 on Amazon. It's a Logitech H390, and it actually will record crystal clear audio and sound for you. So it does a really good job of giving you quality sound. And you can get that at Best Buy, you can get those at Walmart even, you can get them on Amazon.com, and it's a fantastic way to record. A lot of your, obviously if you're using your phone, you've got your built-in microphone there, and you just have a quiet room and you go to town. So start creating your product. Once you identify your product outline, it's super easy to create your product. You no longer run into the issue that a lot of us have of, writer's block or content creator's block, whatever you guys want to call it, where you're staring at the blank PowerPoint template or the blank screen and not knowing where to begin. The product outline is your guide. And so I can create an info product in just 2 or 3 days this way, or even in one day. If I had the time in one day, I could create an info product over and over again. So the next thing that we've got here, so step number 5 is going to be your bonuses. Step number 5 is going to be your bonuses, and you're so welcome. I am very happy to be sharing with you all. Step number 5 it's going to be your bonuses. Step number 5 is your bonuses. And this is really important. A lot of people don't include this as a step in their info product creation process, but it is an absolute must for yourself to identify what bonuses you are going to provide to your audience. And the reason I do that, the reason that I offer this to my audience, to my customers, is because my bonuses increase my sales tremendously. Sometimes I've been told from people that my bonuses is the reason they bought more than just my front-end product. And you always want to have those bonuses. If you really think of it, watch the late night TV infomercials, the ones where they're selling you on the different, the different products that are out there. So let's say it's sunglasses or whatever, and if you buy right now, we'll double the offer. We'll give you more sunglasses. We will, throw in some glasses cleaner, those types of things, right? That's what we're talking about. And if you buy in the next 10 minutes, we'll throw in a handy, kit that actually will help you tighten your glasses when they get, when the screws come out, or whatever the case is, right? So it's all about piling on the value to your customers, and that's what I do with my audience. And some simple ideas for bonuses that I've found that work really well is offering them a live Google Hangout session, a customer-only live Google Hangout, or you could have a private customer-only like Facebook group or page and do a live stream just to those people. But you can do a live Google Hangout session, super easy to set up, and it's just for customers only. You give them the private link to register and let them know when that's going to take place. And you go and do that session, and it's just basic Q&A. So they ask questions about your product. If you don't have a lot of customers right out of the gate, come up with 5 to 10 questions, and you can just go through those 10 questions live, and then you've now got the recording, which is going to permanently be your bonus. So you don't have to create the bonuses before you get started. It's a simple way to create your info products. So that is another important thing, is know your bonuses. I also use private label rights material here. So for those that are brand new to this, private label rights material is, another name for it is PLR, and that's what I create and sell a lot of. And so that is products that you don't have to create, but you have a license to actually put your name on it, rebrand the content, use it as your own product, sell it, and get it out there to the masses and to the market. And so as far as what, PLR material, just go out to Google. You can find PLR on weight loss, on fitness, on health, anything, dog training. If you're in the dog training market, just type in dog training PLR, dog training private label rights. If you are in the let's say that the health space, the back pain market, right? Improving your back pain. Type in, back pain PLR or pain management PLR, and you're going to find some good resources out there on the internet. If you're in internet marketing space, you can find that as well. So this is ready to go content that all you have to do is just rebrand and maybe put a new name on it or a new e-cover, or you could actually just, upload it as is, but use that as a bonus, as ready to go content. Some other ideas for bonuses you can think of is look at maybe articles that you've written on your topic. So whatever market you're going after, you could identify, maybe there's 4 or 5 really good blog posts that you've put together. Repurpose that content, copy and paste that into a Word document, and then take that Word document and make that Word document a PDF file, right? And then that's going to become your bonus. You can save it as a bonus or as a PDF, and now you've got another bonus that you can offer. And you could call it my top 5 tips, my top 5 resources. Let's say that you've got an interview with somebody in your market that's really good and good at what they do. And maybe, for example, this is a good opportunity to reach out and maybe get some new affiliates. So you go identify somebody in your market that you want to be a promoter of your product, and you see if they want to do an interview with you. You might get 5 people that say no, but you get one of these people that says yes. Then at that point, what you're going to do is, thank you for that, Clayton. One of my good friends from school, Clayton, has joined us. So someday soon, Clayton, I'll be on Shark Tank. So that was awesome. So then your bonuses, just work really, really well. So use those bonuses. Go out there, and you are going to really increase your sales, increase your conversions dramatically by having good bonuses. But find those people, for example, the experts in your field, contact them, see if they'll do an interview. If they will, do a short interview. It could be 30-minute interview or 15 minutes of their time. Allow them to pitch their products or services. Then you use that as a bonus, and guess what? When your product's done and ready to promote, they might be willing to promote it because they're featured on your sales page. So it's a really good tip to get somebody to promote for you, but also an easy way to create content for your bonuses. So it's all about piling on the values to your customer. That's going to increase your sales and your conversions. So that's step number 5, is make sure you know your bonuses. Make sure you know what those are. Step number 6 is to write and create your sales copy. Now, this may seem daunting, it may seem scary, but your sales copy is exactly how you sell your product. And I used to hesitate doing this. I used to think, oh, there's no way I'll be a great copywriter. And then I realized you're never going to be a good copywriter if you don't just get out there and start doing it. It's like anything in life. And so, I've started to get to the point where I've, perfected sales copy, so I can have my sales letters convert, and I know they're going to convert well. And I still am not 100%. Now, for me, I'm never 100% satisfied with my results with sales copy until I get 100% conversion. And is that ever going to happen? No, because nobody has 100% conversion. But it means I can always keep striving for excellence and to be better at it. And so I'll give you guys a couple of keys to really focus when you're writing sales copy. And, that sales copy could be a whole nother, it could be about 20 different live streams, to be dead honest, because there's so much to do. So there's quite a bit, that can be covered there. So I want to say a shout out to Richard. So glad to have you here. Several other of our friends from Vietnam have joined us. So really happy to have you all here as well. So, so the next thing that we've got is, those 5 couple tips for writing good sales copy. Start with a strong and powerful headline. Your strong and headline is so important. Your headline is what draws them into the sales copy. Is your headline going to make them purchase your product? Probably not. But if you have a bad headline, your chances of ever selling anything are way, way down. So you need to have a high quality headline that draws them in. Now, my headlines are generally benefit driven, so it gives people a really key benefit as to what they're going to get. Now, there's a difference between features and benefits. A features would be like a 15 video course. It might be, another example of a good feature would be 35-page document. Those are some just basic examples. Maybe it's a 2.5-hour training session. That would be a feature. A benefit, though, is what are they going to get from that content? What are they going to get from your info product? Are they going to achieve more success in their relationships? Are they going to achieve more success in their life and in their business? What is the main benefit they're going to get? And that's where knowing your target audience is so important. Like for the child safety product, my headline is going to be under the realm of, make sure that your kid never falls victim of, social media predators. Or are you sure that your kids are safe online? Are you 100% sure that your kids are safe in this terrible world of social media? So those are ways that kind of trigger a fear point for parents. Or the other headline, the first headline, is an example of kind of drawing them into, are your kids really safe? And it's going to make them want to continue to read the sales copy. So start with a benefit-driven headline that draws people in. Now you can go to Google and do a search for headline templates or copywriting headline templates, and you could find some examples of good headlines that you could swipe and use and just insert for your market. So you can do that. So a good headline is important. Number 2 is a good storyline. So a good storyline, everybody loves the good stories. It's how things have been handed down from generations to generations to generations. And it's a great way to hook your audience into, why they should be buying your product. So you can tell a story about anything. So you could share a story about maybe if you're in, the weight loss product, for example, you could share a story about how, this is how you felt before you lost weight. After you overcame the struggle, this is now how your life is, right? You're more confident, you're more, you're happier with yourself. You find that your success at relationships has improved. You find success in life has gone up. You find that your confidence is better. Just telling a good little story about yourself and, maybe how you felt when you looked at old pictures of yourself. So those are ways to kind of draw people in and kind of make them go, oh yeah, I connect with you. I can connect with you. And so storytelling is a good part of copywriting. So think of a good story that'll resonate with your market. For those that go to church, you guys notice a lot of times pastors will start their sermons with a story, right? With a really good, well-crafted story, because it draws you into the rest of their sermon. And there's a reason they do that. And so you can really kind of use that as an example of how you can actually create and craft a good message to get people to read the rest of your copy. Another good thing is to have those bullet points. Bullet points do really well within your copy. And so those would be things, like where you give people their main benefits, and if you purchase this product today, here's just a little taste of what you're going to discover. And then at that point, I give them 5 or 6 key bullet points as far as what they're going to find inside my training program. You're going to discover my exact info product success blueprint. You're going to find the exact 28-day formula that I used to go from fat to fit in just 28 days. Those are the kind of things that are going to get people excited. You could even say, like, one of my favorite bullet points to use is I might say at the 32 minute and 22 second mark, I reveal my favorite strategy for being better at relationships. So I use that kind of approach, and it makes people go, oh wow, what is at the 32 minute and 33 second mark? I want to find out. Or what's the secret that he's going to reveal on page 52 that nobody else has ever revealed? So those are examples of bullet points that get attention. Breaking up your copy with sub-headlines is also super important. So a sub-headline is not your main top headline, but it'd be the headline people see as they're going back reading through your sales copy. So it's going to be a little sub-headline that jumps out at people. And I want to thank everybody that's joined us. This is now my most liked live stream video. So you guys are awesome, and I will keep going. So, make sure as people read, we all have attention deficit disorder in a sense, and we're all in a rush. Everybody's in a rush these days. So 90% of the time when people read your copy, they're skimming it. So when they read your headline, they're actually reading for points that are going to jump out to them. And oftentimes they're going to go back up and start really reading if they're interested. So that's why your subheadline should just be little stop points that make people, as they're skimming, say, well, I'm going to stop because that headline resonated with me and I want to learn more about that. Then below that, you write a paragraph about that topic. And so, that's really, really key as well. The final thing, just as far as sales copy goes, is recapping your offer. I cannot stress that enough. And if you want to get good at good sales and good copy, you should really watch the infomercials, the late night infomercials. I record those sometimes. I think they're fantastic because you're going to see how they frame the offers. They do everything, basically they're doing everything you would do in a good sales message in a 15, 20-minute infomercial. And at the end of it, the closing part, they're really hitting home the value. And remember, if you act right now, we're going to double the offer. And if you do this, we're throwing in this bonus and this bonus. And if you act, this minute, we're going to throw in the special how-to guide on how to be a better whatever it is that you're buying, however it fits together. And so that's why bonuses was the tip right above this, because you need to have good bonuses to identify as you write your sales copy. That brings us now to tip number 7. Tip number 7, that is your product graphics. Your product graphics is really important to your copy, and especially in this day and age. Back a few years ago, I would have said it's not as important, but now in this visual world where everybody's so used to videos and images, they are important to really stand out, make you jump out from the crowd. And I'm going to share a couple of really good tips with you guys as far as product graphics go. So here's a couple places. The first one is Placeit.net. 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 Placeit.net is a really fantastic tool where you can actually take your product graphics, you could take your own image, and you can place it literally on like a cell phone, on a computer screen. In fact, in my Your First info product course, I actually take my info product graphic, which is literally a screenshot from my PowerPoints. And Nancy, I feel your pain. Nancy said graphics are really my nemesis, and she said I'm just hopeless. But I'm here to give you hope, Nancy, because I am not an artistic individual. I'm very creative when it comes to content creation and good products. Art and me do not mix. I appreciate good art. I appreciate good artists tremendously because I love seeing good art, but I'm not somebody that's going to sit down and paint a high quality picture, nor am I somebody that's going to sit down in front of Photoshop and put together this amazing graphic. But using Placeit.net, Nancy, and PowerPoint, I can make an outstanding looking graphic that looks super professional to people, and it's just using 2 really basic tools. So you can place your graphic all over. You could take a selfie, and all of a sudden, next thing you know, people are looking through your copy. Instead of just seeing a picture of you, they're seeing you on a computer screen. They're seeing your picture show up on a cell phone or an iPad, and all of a sudden, your product looks different from the competition's. So, there's tools like that. One of my all-time favorite graphic tools that I really love right now that I've been using, it's a paid tool, and I'll probably put a link to it at the end, when I edit this video, but it's Youzign, Youzign, Youzign. It is a point-and-click graphic software. I absolutely love that tool to death, and I think it's just fantastic for creating those amazing graphics. And another tool that I use consistently for creating my ebook cover graphics, so I don't have to outsource anymore, is Pixel Studio FX from Jimmy Kim. And it's a really powerful tool as well. So Pixel Studio FX, they create really high quality graphics for your info products, and it's a simple point and click software. I use it for all mine. So I can using these tools, I can do every one of my steps here without having to outsource anything if you don't want to. So you can do that. So that is your product graphics. It's step number 7 because you need those in order to integrate them into your sales copy. Step number 8 is to upload your product graphics. So after you've created your product, whether it's a video, whether it's a PDF, whether it's just a straight MP3 audio, you need to upload that to the internet so that we can then create our download page, which will be one of the next steps. To upload it to the internet, there's a couple tools you can use. The first one is called FileZilla. FileZilla, it's an FTP program. What FileZilla does is it actually gets your product from your computer up to the internet. And thank you so much, Wen. I do feel very Dep try. I do feel that today. Thank you. So the next thing that you've got is you upload your graphics from your computer. So from your computer to your web host, and that's where you're going to host the files. And so it's from there that you're going to link them up. Now, the one thing that a lot of people the one thing that a lot of people, and I'll try to speak a little bit slower for you guys because I have a lot to cover here. But the one thing, another tool you can use is Amazon S3. Now, Amazon has done a fantastic job. Amazon's done a great job of making it super easy to upload with S3 now. And so you just go to amazon.com/S3 and you'll create your folder. And it's from in there that you just simply choose the upload button. You'll find the product on your computer. You'll click upload. And then once it's uploaded there onto your computer, it's at that point, or once it's uploaded to Amazon, you just right click on it, say make public, and then you go to settings. You right click on it, choose settings, and that's going to be the link, the direct path on Amazon to your product. So Amazon S3 is where I host the majority of my info product files, and it's super easy to use and set up, and it's not something that should scare you at all. And so those are the two tools that I use to upload my product files to the internet. The next step, this is step number 9, is going to be to create your download page. Create your download page. For me, my download pages are super simple. I don't use a fancy editor. I use Composer, Compozer.net. Composer, and you can get it at composer.net. Composer.net, and it is a free HTML editor. And you can just go to File, create a new file, and it's a Word. It's a blank document, right? It looks like Word, and you can always enhance your download pages later. I have not, in all my years of selling online, 17 years, I've never had somebody complain to me that my download page was ugly, therefore they're going to refund. Now, if your sales page is really ugly, you're gonna, that's a different story. But I've never had anybody say, "Oh, your download page looks so terrible, Paul, I'm going to get a refund just because it looks bad." Don't stress about having a perfect looking download page the first time out. I've watched people actually get hung up at this point, and it drives me crazy to see that because you're so close to success, but then you're like, "Oh, my download page doesn't look good." You start with the blank document in Composer, and what you can do there is just link up your files. So it's at that point you put, download video number 1, and then you put your Amazon S3 link right there. Download video 2, put your S3 link in right there. And it's super simple to use. It's like using Microsoft Word. It really is that simple. And so it's free. And Nancy here, she said I taught her how to use Composer years ago, which I did, Nancy. And to this day, Nancy, I still use Composer. It's still sitting on my computer. It works on Microsoft Office, on Windows computers, and it works on Macs as well. And it's a program that I still use, I still believe in, and some people have joked with me and they're like, "Paul, you are so old school." I'm probably the youngest, hippest, old school marketer out there because I don't need to have the fancy tools to make it work. It's just about function and getting the job done for my customers, and then you can worry about making a beautiful download page later if you choose. And then another really good tip for your download page is come up with some sort of an offer that you can use. Let's see, are you guys still hearing me okay? Let's see here. Are you guys hearing me okay? Can I get a thumbs up or a yes? Let's see, okay. Hopefully you guys are still seeing me. All right, great. Okay, getting some yeses now. We're back. Okay, so we got a little disconnection there. Okay, so creating your download page. Another tip that I use, for example, like Bernard said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That is my mentality for my download pages as well. So the other thing that I actually do on my download pages is come up with some sort of an offer that fits, right? So I come up with an offer that is fitting to what my front end offer is. And so that could be an affiliate link. I could do a registration for a webinar, but you always want to have something on your download page because your customers, they're proven buyers and they're already there. So why not upsell them to your mastermind group, to your coaching group? Why not put an upsell link on your download page? Monetize that download page. It's a fantastic way to go. The next thing that you've got is your JV page. Your JV page, that is the next thing you're going to create, and that is step number 9. So after we made our download page, we need to set up our JV page. This is our joint venture page here to do that. Let's see here. Looks like somebody said it froze again. All right. Hopefully we'll be back without many issues. A few people said it froze. Not sure what's going on there. Okay. Hopefully we're back. So if you are not seeing me, let me know. Or if you are. So the next thing is your JV page. This is where you recruit your affiliates. And a JV page I make in Composer. And inside Composer, that's again point and click simple, and it's a basic sales page. It's a basic sales page that sells people on why they should promote, and I really highlight the key points. Like for me, I highlight that I have a good sales funnel, that I have upsells, so they're going to make more than just the front end offer, and affiliates really like that. So the JV page, it's a basic page where you highlight what they're going to find. So you'll highlight what they're going to get if they purchase. You're going to highlight, or if the customers purchase, you're going to highlight the value they're going to receive, their audience. You're going to give them email swipes, and so those are maybe 4 or 5 bullet points and selling points as to why people should buy this product. And it's just to give your affiliates some ideas and promotional tools to start with. So you want to give them affiliate tools. You want to tell them what's in your info product. You want to tell them about your sales funnel. You want to tell them about any contest that you might have. And then you want to give them the link to get your affiliate link, whether that's with ClickBank or JVZoo or Warrior Plus or whatever platform you're using. You're going to give them your affiliate link. Now, my JV page is really valuable to me because that's where I'm going to get the bulk of my traffic to my info product is through my affiliate partners. So I spend a lot of time creating a super high quality, a JV page that really sells people on why they should promote. And I really treat my JV page like it's a sales page because it's all about converting those affiliates. One of my great affiliates, Gene Pimentel, right on cue as I'm talking about great affiliates, he joined me here. So welcome, Gene. So glad you are here on this live stream today. So Gene is fantastic. Gene Pimentel, he creates some great products, especially in the domain space, if you guys check him out sometime. So your JV page is absolutely a must, and you must create that. And that is for step number 9. Now, step number 10 is create your JV page. Step number 11 is to move your sales copy over. So moving your sales copy over. So you've created your sales copy. You can do it in Composer. You could do your sales copy in a text pad editor. You could write it in a Word document if you want. That's usually how I start my sales copy. And then for the 11th step is I move my sales copy to an online tool because I want my sales pages to look good. I used to be like, all right, just go with the real basic pages. And those still work, but I've started to actually make them look a little more mobile responsive and cleaner. And so for those, there's several tools. There's ClickFunnels, which is out there. There is Leadpages. My favorite tool that I use, and again, some people think I'm nuts, but it's OptimizePress. I still love that tool and I use it. And OptimizePress integrates perfectly with WordPress, and so works really well with WordPress. So there's Leadpages, there's ClickFunnels, there's OptimizePress, and there's also like Beaver Builder. I know some people that really use that as well. And you can also use a standard WordPress page if you want. You don't need a sales page plugin, but you can get a standard WordPress theme and then set it so there's no sidebars. So it's in the right-hand side when you're inside your WordPress page, and you could just make a very basic sales page that way and use the built-in, the bolding, the coloring of your content like you're using Microsoft Word, to just kind of make your sales copy look clean and professional. And so I move my sales copy that I've written already, and I move it into my page builder of choice. And so those are all the options, all different price levels, like ClickFunnels and Leadpages are monthly. OptimizePress is a one-time cost. And if cost is an issue or a hindrance from getting your product live, use WordPress, which is free, and you already should have that installed. Use WordPress and then create your sales page on that. So those are just some ideas for creating sales, making your sales copy look good and clean. Step number 12 is set up your upsell pages. So much in the same way that we just did in the last step is I set up my upsell pages for step number 12. And again, these are the 14 steps that I go through when I launch an info product every single time. And so step number 12 is where I'm going to use my ClickFunnels or lead pages or Optimize Press or WordPress itself to actually copy and paste my sales copy and slide it right into whatever page builder that I'm going to use. It could be Beaver Builder as well. There's many of the page builders out there that you can use. Step number 13 is going to be, in this step, it's where you're going to choose where you're going to be selling your product. So are you selling your product from ClickBank? Are you selling it from JVZoo, from Warrior Plus? What shopping cart are you using? Are you going to use Infusionsoft? Are you going to use Nanocast, One Shopping Cart? What shopping cart platform are you using? Now for me, I tend to stick with ClickBank or JVZoo because it's so easy to track my affiliates. And for me, I'm a solopreneur, so I like to do things myself. I don't have a large team. I don't need to have an accounting team because ClickBank kind of acts as my accounting team for launches as well. And so, they pay my affiliates on time. I don't have to worry about it. So you can set up your product on your platform. So that's step number 13. So set it up on ClickBank, on JVZoo. If you're doing anything outside of the internet marketing space, definitely I would look at setting it up on ClickBank. They have a really good marketplace that's got a long-term feel behind it. Then further, I would also look at JVZoo for even your niche products, because they really are an up-and-coming platform that's been around several years, highly high quality. I've done a lot of money on JVZoo, and they're starting to really kind of expand out there in the other niches. So you could also list your product on both. There's nothing wrong with having your product on two platforms, but just choose one of those platforms and set up your product, because once your download page is uploaded and done, once your sales page is all done, once you have those two things in place and your product files are all loaded, that's why this is one of the last steps, because it's a sequential order that I go through when I launch my info products from start to finish. So that's step number 13 is to get your product live. Step number 14 is to recruit your affiliates. Recruit your affiliates and send them to that JV page that you set up. And your affiliates are super important to your success, because that's how you're going to get your first influx of traffic. And I'll share with you guys a couple of joint venture recruitment strategies. So step number 1 is relationship building. Step number 1 is identifying which people you want to have promote your product, and then see how you can benefit them. So you can go out to certain affiliates in your niche market, and instead of just approaching them with, hey, I've got something great you can promote, you should see how you can serve them first. If you serve others first, then, the law of reciprocity, they're going to want to reciprocate to you. It only makes sense. Plus, it's a biblical principle that works. So see if you can offer them a spot on your download page. So you can approach them and say, hey, I've got this great launch coming up. I really, think it's a great fit for your audience. I would like to integrate your product on my download page. Would you be open to that? And then see if they're open to it. That's a great way to open, by doing something for them first and seeing if they're willing to promote for you. You really only need to get a few strong affiliates at the beginning of a product launch, and then a bunch more are going to start jumping on board after that. So if you can target those few strong affiliates you want, offer them something of value. And again, to find those affiliates, you're looking at the launch boards for your niche market. So that means going to ClickBank and looking at the leaderboards, going to JVZoo, seeing who's out there, reaching out to those people using Facebook, using email, using forms on their website, looking at their privacy policy pages for their emails, those types of things to locate your affiliates. You can also go out to ezinearticles.com and find the top article writers for your space. Contact those people. They're in your market. They're building a list. They're building a following. They're using that as a traffic source. So you may as well go out there and leverage those people that are providing good content to the market and see if they're open to being an affiliate. Go out to people that have YouTube channels that are highly successful, or Facebook pages or groups that are successful in your space, and find those people. Do whatever it takes to stand out. One really good example, there's an affiliate that he stands out to me every year, and I tell him time and time again how to, I tell him, whatever he has to promote, I'm there. And it's funny because every Christmas time for the last several years, he sent me a box of brownies. And the brownies are delicious and they're great. And I ate too much in the past because you guys have all seen my transformation. So now I hope he sends me celery sticks, but he sends me brownies every single year. And I'm always like, it's always cool. It's a simple gesture, but it stands out in my mind, right? Because he took time to think of me and do something different. Another way to reach affiliates is through the mailbox, the regular physical mailbox, not the email inbox, the physical mailbox. Send a postcard, send a handwritten letter to them about your launch. Send that out to 100 affiliates. You'll probably get a decent amount of them that are actually going to see it, rather than everybody else that might just be contacting them through another channel. So, those are just some tips and strategies. The players in your industry, they're hanging out on Twitter, they're hanging out on Facebook. See how you can serve them first, and you're going to be better off as far as getting affiliates. So those are my 14 info product tips for launching an info product from scratch. So let me recap all 14 points again, and then we will continue. So point number 1 is identify your target market. So that's knowing who you want to go after. Point number 2 is your product outline. Your product outline, creating your product outline, and that's really important. Point number 3 is your OTO, or your sales funnel. You always need a sales funnel. It's going to make your affiliates happy. Your customers are happy because they're getting additional value and additional ways to learn and digest content. Your upsell funnel could be as simple as doing like a Facebook mastermind group or something like that. Step number 4, this is going to be create your info product. So use video, use audio, whatever it takes to make your info product. Step number 5 is your bonuses. Identify your bonuses. That's super important for you. So identify those bonuses. It's going to be essential to your success, because if you know what bonuses you're going to offer your customers, you're going to be able to be a better salesman. You're going to get better conversions on your products. Step number 6, your sales copy. That's where you write your sales copy. Start with a good headline. Use bullet points to draw people in. That's really important. Step number 7, product graphics. You can use the couple tools that I talked about. For those that are graphically impaired, Placeit.net. Placeit.net. It's a really fun free tool. And then Youzign.com. Youzign.com. Youzign.com is another fantastic tool that you can use. The next one, let's do step number 8. Step number 8, that is to upload your files to Amazon S3 or FileZilla. So that's your product files, your graphic image files. Those things you're going to upload to your server. And that brings us to step number 9. Step number 9, which is to create your download page. Create your download page. And remember, I use that in Composer. Composer.net is where you can download it. It's a free tool, and it's simply just linking up my files. Now, step number 11. Step number 11, 10, 1, 11. That is create your JV page. Your JV page is where you recruit your affiliates for your product. You recruit your affiliates. Step number 12. Step number 12, that is where you move your sales copy, where I move it to my page builder of choice, whether it's OptimizePress, Lead Pages, ClickFunnels. I take the sales copy that I wrote from one of the previous steps and I move it into my preferred page builder. Step number 14, that is where 13, excuse me. Step 13, that's where I set up my product, step 13, onto ClickBank, onto JVZoo, Warrior Plus, Nanocast, One Shopping Cart. So you set it up on your shopping cart and affiliate tracking system. And then the final step, step number 14, that's where you go recruit your affiliates, you build that relationship with them, and you find those affiliates. So I really appreciate you guys. This has been an outstanding live stream. And I will say, I do have one special thing for those that are watching, because I know I just covered here 14 tips for launching an info product, and I know it's tough to just cover all this just by hearsay and just on live stream. So I actually do have an info product called Your First Info Product, and I will provide a link to that product here in the replay of this live stream. And this info product it's all about teaching these 14 methods, but in more detail for you guys. And the best part about this is that I've got 3 options for you. You guys can get a personal license. You guys could actually just learn from me, so learn that training. Or you can actually get a private label rights license, which means you could sell that training. So it's similar to this training, but in much more detail as well, like hours of training. You can sell that training as your own, or you can get the co-branded PLR license, which is something that I've never offered before with my products, and that means you can actually use my name with your name. So it looks like we're launching the product together. So you've got the co-branded license. And if you guys really want to know, I'll tell you guys a tip to success online. You can buy my product and then follow my sales funnel, and you guys will see the exact method that I use. Turn on Camtasia, turn on Screencast-O-Matic, and film my sales funnel so you get an idea of how your upsells could flow and how that could flow. So that's another tip that I do when I see products that are selling well, and I continue to learn myself. I'll buy the product. I've bought products because I didn't even care for the product. I just wanted to see how their sales funnel was because they're a successful seller. So I'm always learning from other people. And so I'm going to provide the link to that, my Info Product Success Training. And it's a really valuable source. Obviously, you guys could take these 14 tips and do really well. But my info product course, I feel, is most beneficial to you guys because it covers these 14 tips in a lot more detail. And one of the big bonuses that I'm offering customers is an in-depth technical training that's going to take place on the 23rd. And so again, many of you watching this later on, you'll miss that. But it will be held live with the recording made available. So you'll be able to catch that replay, and step by step it's going to take you through some of the technical parts of setting these things up, and then the training part itself really dives into the details. So again, Wynn, I'm so grateful you joined me as well, and I love you too. Kian, you're most welcome. So happy to provide this value to you guys. So any other questions for me, guys? You guys can ask right here. Otherwise, we will in this live stream. I hope you all enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a great deal. It's always fun doing these for you all. I greatly enjoy it. And we will talk to you all soon. So, Tom Biet to my friends from Vietnam. And goodbye to all my friends here in America and everywhere else in the world. So, all right, I appreciate you guys. And I will get this reposted here on Facebook with the link to check out my new product called Your First Info Product, which details all these. Bernard, I'm actually using for my live stream here, I'm using the iPhone 7 Plus, and so I'm using the webcam or the front-facing camera for that. Or, I'm sorry, the selfie camera. Yeah, the iPhone 7 selfie camera. Great question. All right, good deal, guys. I don't see any other questions yet, so I will answer more questions that come in later today. So I appreciate you guys. Yep. Oh, Terry. Oh, my goodness. Terry, you are on fire. So Terry Loving, thank you so much. Terry's in there taking notes for everybody. Absolutely beautiful job. So thank you for that. Awesome, Terry. I appreciate that. Terry's got some notes for you guys in there. Bernard, you're most welcome. Tom Biet Wen, you are most welcome. So happy to be sharing with you. Linda, yeah, thank you. I felt the audio and video sounds really good on this device. And you are most welcome, Nancy. Happy to have you here, as always, for this live stream. All right, thanks, guys. Have a good one. Take care. We'll be in touch.